Discovery in Los Angeles has led to a police investigation on the West Coast. Authorities say they were called to an impound lot in Hollywood after someone noticed a foul odor coming from a car. Once inside, they discovered a wrapped in plastic. The car, which was a Tesla that belonged to a singer and Queens native who goes by the name David, spelled with a...
It's been a busy day of developing news. So the body found in the trunk of a Tesla registered to popular music artist David is that of a teenage girl missing since April of last year.
Rising singer David has paused the rest of his tour as the Hollywood Hills home he's been living in was recently searched by authorities after a missing 15-year-old girl was found decomposing in the trunk of his Tesla.
Where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear. I've seen people online take different meanings and interpretations from that one part of the song where it's like it's their past selves that's dying. And they're not even crying about it because they're evolved or become better people or have killed addictions and other different stuff like that. So I think it's very powerful in that way too.
You know what they say, the truth is often hiding in plain sight. But what happens when someone literally puts their confession to music and millions of people stream it without realizing what they're actually listening to? On September 8th, 2024, workers at a Hollywood tow yard noticed something that would change everything. A smell. Not just any smell, the kind that makes your stomach turn before your brain even processes what it might be. They approached a Tesla that had been sitting on the roof of their parking structure for 5 days. What they found inside would unravel a story that had been hidden for longer than anyone imagined. The car was registered to a rising music star with millions of fans worldwide. Inside the trunk, wrapped in a bag, were human remains. But here's the thing that's going to keep you up tonight. This wasn't just any victim. This was a 15-year-old girl who'd been missing since she was 13. And the artist? He'd been touring the country, performing for thousands, releasing hit songs, all while this terrible secret sat decomposing in his abandoned car. But wait, it gets worse. What if I told you this artist had been releasing songs about this exact situation? What if those viral tracks you've been hearing on TikTok were actually confessions hidden in plain sight? Buckle up, because what you're about to hear will make you question every song you've ever listened to. Before we go any further, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're True Crime Unraveled, and we read every single comment you leave. Seriously, everyone. Your theories, your insights, they matter to us. On Facebook and TikTok, we're True Crime Unraveled TV. Keep those comments coming. Let me introduce you to David Anthony Burke. Stage name, D4vd. Just 20 years old, from Queens, New York, and he'd been climbing the ladder of success faster than most people his age even dream about. During the pandemic, while everyone else was baking sourdough and learning TikTok dances, this young man was in his sister's closet. Yeah, you heard that right, his sister's closet, recording what would become his breakout hit, Romantic Homicide. That song? It went absolutely viral. We're talking millions of plays, a record deal with Interscope, collaborations with artists like SZA. The kid had made it. Tours across the US and Canada, millions of monthly listeners on Spotify. He'd carved out his own lane in this dark, alternative R&B space that Gen Z couldn't get enough of. But here's where the American dream starts to crack at the edges. Because while David was building his empire, while he was becoming David the artist, there was someone else in this story. Someone whose voice would be silenced before she could tell her side. Her name was Celeste Rivas Hernandez. 15 years old when her body was found. But that's not when her story ended. That's just when the world finally started paying attention. See, Celeste had actually been missing since April 2024, when she was just 13 years old. A kid from Lake Elsinore, California, about 90 minutes from where her remains would eventually be discovered. According to those who knew her, Celeste was bubbly and sweet. The kind of kid who lit up a room. But she also had a history that makes this story even more heartbreaking. She'd run away from home before. Multiple times, according to some sources. Sometimes staying with extended family. The kind of pattern that makes it easier for people to dismiss when a child goes missing again. Oh, she's probably just run away again, they'd say. But this time was different. Her mother would later tell TMZ that Celeste had a boyfriend named David. Now, let that sink in for a moment. A 13-year-old girl with a boyfriend named David, and a 20-year-old artist named David Anthony Burke, whose car she'd be found in. You do the math on what that age difference would have been when they first met. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about September 8th, 2024. Hollywood Tow. Around 12:30 p.m.
Discovery in Los Angeles has led to a police investigation on the West Coast. Authorities say they were called to an impound lot in Hollywood after someone noticed a foul odor coming from a car. Once inside, they discovered a wrapped in plastic. The car, which was a Tesla that belonged to a singer and Queens native who goes by the name David.
An employee is going about their day when that smell hits them. You know how sometimes your body knows something's wrong before your mind catches up? That's what happened here. The smell was coming from a 2023 Tesla with Texas plates that had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills for 5 days before being towed. When the LAPD arrived, what they found was described as severely decomposed remains. A head and torso, wrapped in a bag. The medical examiner would note the body was approximately 5 feet 2 inches tall, around 71 pounds, with dark wavy hair. She was wearing a tube top. But here's the detail that would become crucial. She had a tattoo on her right index finger. Now, why does that matter? Well, photos would later surface showing David with the exact same tattoo. Same finger. Same design. What are the odds of that being a coincidence? The investigation that followed would reveal something that nobody saw coming, or maybe they did see it coming, but chose to look the other way. According to various sources, this relationship between David and Celeste went back years. We're talking Discord messages from 2022, and this is where your blood should run cold, when Celeste would have been 11 or 12 years old. Let me paint you a picture of what investigators started uncovering. On the David Discord server, there were flirtatious interactions between someone named David and someone named Celeste dating back to 2022. There's even video evidence that surfaced, a live stream where David is with a girl who looks remarkably like Celeste, and at the end, he instructs the moderators to delete the evidence of the stream once it's over.
Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
one? What's good, David? Big fan. This one. Oh, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta stop with him if you even...
Are we?
We need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all?
Now, why would you need to delete a harmless live stream? Unless it wasn't so harmless after all. But here's where this case takes a turn that nobody expected. Remember that song I mentioned at the beginning, Romantic Homicide? It was released on September 7th, 2022. Want to know what September 7th is? That's Celeste's birthday. This man released a song called Romantic Homicide on the birthday of a girl who would later be found dead in his car. And the lyrics?
In the back of my mind, but then you think that I'm going to say you died, but I say I killed you. So it's not like the thought of her is gone by itself was something that she did. It was something that I decided to do. And I killed her in the back of my mind. It's really more of a figurative I killed you, especially in the back of my mind. I try to stress that in the back of my mind. That's why I say it so loud. In the back of my mind, you died. In the back of my mind, I killed you. So it's all in the mind because that's the most secure place you can be is in your mind. So if you can expel that thought from your mind, then everything else will just come together, the puzzle pieces.
Are you starting to see the pattern here? Because it gets even more explicit. There's another song, a leaked demo from December 2023, that's literally titled Celeste. In it, he sings, "Oh, Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." Every year on September 7th, every single year, David would release a song. People are calling them tribute songs now, but tribute to what? To whom? We've been streaming these songs, making TikToks with them, helping them go viral, and all along they might have been something much darker. There's another aspect of this case that deserves attention. Celeste's brother, and this breaks my heart, her brother tried to get help. He went to the police and told them he thought his sister was with this person. He tried to save her. And what did the authorities do? They told him there wasn't enough evidence to act. Not enough evidence that a 13-year-old girl was missing and her brother knew who she might be with. The system failed this family at every level. According to a former teacher at Lakeland Village High School who claims to have taught Celeste, she had run away before in early 2024 to be with someone she met on social media.
Classroom. I can't see it. Hold up. That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because that's crazy. He's also in my classroom.
How long ago was it?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year. May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper, that they were like blackmailing him, all of this stuff. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media. Let me tell you another story.
The teacher says police tracked her down that time and returned her to her mother. But she disappeared again in April 2024, and that was the last anyone heard from her. But here's the thing, and this is where the investigation gets really complicated. The state of decomposition suggested the body had been there for much longer than just since April. When exactly did Celeste die? How long was her body in that car? And perhaps most disturbingly, if the decomposition timeline is accurate, how long was David driving around, performing, creating music, living his life while this was happening? On September 19th, 2024, LAPD executed a search warrant on a Hollywood Hills home where David had been living. The address was less than 2 blocks from where the Tesla was initially found abandoned. According to TMZ's reporting, they were looking for blood evidence. They seized computers and found a red Tesla in the garage, though this was a different vehicle from the one where the body was found. His tour, which had been in full swing, suddenly started seeing cancellations. His Seattle show, canceled with no explanation. His scheduled performance at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles, up in the air. For an artist who built his career on social media engagement, his complete radio silence during this period spoke volumes. Meanwhile, people online were doing what people online do best, digging up every possible connection, every photo, every message, every lyric that might be relevant. The Discord moderator for David's server eventually posted a message essentially confirming the validity of the messages between David and Celeste, claiming he didn't know Celeste was underage. But if these messages go back to 2022 when she was 11 or 12, and he's 20 now, he would have been 18 then. An 18-year-old and an 11 or 12-year-old. There's no universe where that's okay. As of now, no arrests have been made. The LAPD has emphasized that this remains a death investigation rather than a homicide investigation at this stage. Without a confirmed cause and manner of death, they can't officially call it a crime. Legal experts have pointed out that making an early arrest without solid evidence could actually weaken the prosecution's case later. But the evidence that's already public is damning. The matching tattoos. The songs released on her birthday. The song literally titled with her name. The Discord messages. The photos. The fact that her body was found in his car. How many coincidences can stack up before they stop being coincidences? The investigation continues. Digital forensics teams are going through phones, computers, social media accounts, looking for any communication between David and Celeste, looking for evidence of what happened during those missing months, looking for the truth that's been hidden for far too long. Meanwhile, Celeste's family has set up a GoFundMe to help lay her to rest. The description reads, "She was a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. Her family is heartbroken and devastated by this tragic loss." That's what gets lost sometimes in cases like these. Behind all the speculation, all the evidence, all the shocking details, there was a real person. A child who never got to grow up. A family that will never be whole again. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was 15 years old when her body was found. She would have turned 16 the day after. Her former teacher, when speaking to his current students about her case, called it a cautionary tale about the dangers of social media. But it's more than that. It's a tale about how predators can hide in plain sight, how the system can fail the most vulnerable, how fame and success can provide cover for the darkest of secrets. As this case moves forward, there are questions that demand answers. When will there be an arrest? What other evidence will come to light? Were there other victims? Who else knew what was happening and chose to stay silent? But perhaps the most haunting question of all, how many times did we listen to romantic homicide without realizing what we were really hearing? How many times did that song play while Celeste's family searched for their missing daughter? How many fans sang along to lyrics that might have been a confession? The music industry has already begun to distance itself from David. Interscope has reportedly discontinued his promotion. Venues are canceling shows. The court of public opinion has rendered its verdict even as the legal system continues its methodical process. This case serves as a stark reminder that monsters don't always look like monsters. Sometimes they look like talented young artists with bright futures. Sometimes they make music we love. Sometimes they fool us all. But the truth has a way of surfacing, even when it's been buried for months or years. Even when it's been hidden in the trunk of an abandoned Tesla. Even when it's been disguised as art. Celeste Rivas Hernandez deserved better. She deserved to live, to grow up, to follow her dreams, to be safe. She deserved adults who would protect her, not exploit her. She deserved a chance. So, where does this leave us? With more questions than answers, honestly. The investigation is ongoing, and every day seems to bring new revelations. But some questions keep me up at night. If those Discord messages really go back to when Celeste was 11 or 12, how many people saw them and said nothing? How many people in David's inner circle knew about this relationship and chose to protect him instead of her? Why did it take finding a body for people to take this seriously when her brother had been trying to get help? And here's the one that really gets me. If the songs were confessions, if he was literally telling us what he did through his music, what does that say about him? What kind of person commits such an act and then profits from it? Tours the country performing songs about it? The audacity is beyond comprehension. The narcissism, the complete lack of empathy, the cold calculation of it all. It's like he was daring the world to figure it out, like he thought he was untouchable. But nobody's untouchable. The truth always finds a way. You know what really gets me about this case? It's not just the horror of what allegedly happened to Celeste. It's not just the age difference, the abuse of power, the exploitation. It's the fact that this played out so publicly and nobody connected the dots until it was too late. We live in an age where everything is documented, where every interaction leaves a digital footprint, where secrets are harder to keep than ever before. And yet, somehow, this allegedly went on for years. Photos were taken. Messages were sent. Songs were recorded and released. And Celeste still ended up dead. It makes you wonder how many other stories like this are out there. How many other young people are in danger right now, while we're distracted by the surface-level glamour of fame and success. How many red flags are we missing because we don't want to believe that someone we admire could be capable of something so terrible? This case isn't over. Far from it. The legal process will take its course, more evidence will emerge, and eventually, we'll have more answers. But will we learn from this? Will we get better at protecting vulnerable young people from predators who use fame and money as shields? I hope so. For Celeste's sake. For her family's sake. For all the other potential victims out there. Because if there's one thing this case has taught us, it's that monsters can hide anywhere. Even in our Spotify playlists. What do you think about this case? Are there details we missed? Connections we haven't made? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one, and I mean that. Your insights have helped us solve puzzles in cases before. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an episode of True Crime Unraveled. On Facebook and TikTok, follow True Crime Unraveled TV. Share this video if you think others need to hear Celeste's story. And remember, if you or someone you know is in danger, speak up. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Don't assume it's not your business. Sometimes being a good neighbor, a good friend, a good person means making uncomfortable phone calls and asking difficult questions. Celeste deserves someone who would fight for her. Her brother tried. Now it's up to the rest of us to make sure her story isn't forgotten, that justice is served, and that this never happens again. This is true crime unraveled. Keep questioning everything. Keep demanding justice. And keep those comments coming. Until next time, stay safe out there.